Welcome to Child Growth and Development. In this welcome video, I'm going to go over the course outline and kind of the course structure on a Canvas for you. And I will also go over some of the larger assignments and the syllabus as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with Canvas. So you are on Canvas right now. So this is kind of what you are able to see. So this welcome module is kind of our first module. It will always be there. This first module will have this welcome video that you're watching, the syllabus, and our free online textbook. So this will always be around. So if you ever want to come back to this video and kind of fast forward to the part that you want to see, or if you want to check up on something on the syllabus, or if you ever need to find the online free textbook, it will always be here in this first module. So once again, our welcome video is here. And then this is our syllabus as well. And then this is the free textbook. It goes to a online textbook from another community college, but it has been edited really well. And so it's great. You can download it, you can save it. I wouldn't print it if I were you. It is quite long, but it should be very compatible with e-readers as well, so that you can get this totally free, great textbook available to you. So here it is. We're going to be reading it throughout the class like any normal textbook. It's just free and online. Here is our syllabus. And like I said, this will always be available to you in this first welcome module here on Canvas. So if you ever needed to come back to it, it is here and available for you throughout the duration of the class. This is an online asynchronous class. Asynchronous means there will not be mandatory times or hours that we will be meeting throughout this class. You'll do the weekly work on your own time whenever you get the chance with your kind of busy schedule to do it. The best way to contact me is to email me. So here is my email, or another way is to message me on Canvas. I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit, but here is my email. I check my emails Monday through Friday, typically 2 or 3 times throughout the day. So please expect a reply definitely within 24 business hours. I reply as soon as I see your emails. And once again, I typically check it about 3 times a day. So whenever I see your email, I will respond to you, but expect a reply within 24 business hours. I do not check my emails on weekends. So I check them Monday through Friday during normal business hours, 9 to 5, but I do not check them on weekends. It is an asynchronous class, so you are more than welcome and encouraged to do the work on nights and weekends if that works for you. Just be mindful of the fact that the real life human, me, who is teaching this class, does not work 24 hours a day. I am not a bot. I am a real life person and a real life office working. So if you need help with the course content, the best thing to do would be to take a look at it earlier in the week. And then ask any questions, and then you can always feel free to do the work on the weekends or nights, whatever works for you. But if you wanted to just take a look at the week's work, take a look at the assignments, make sure you don't have any questions before kind of the alternative hours kind of start, when somebody won't be available to help you specifically with the course. I do have a voicemail. It goes to my email though, honestly. So feel free to leave me a message, but it'll be transcribed and it'll go to my email, and then I will email you back. We can set up phone calls. So if you want to have office hours by me calling you, you can give me a number that works for you, and I will call you and we can have office hours that way. Typically my office hours are on Zoom. So I will put in an announcement with a Zoom link up for you guys. And that will be our office hours. You'll join anytime in the 1 or 2 hours that I have office hours. I typically have them twice a month, something like that, and they're usually 1 or 2 hours at a time. You join the Zoom link. If there's a student in front of you, you just hang out in the Zoom waiting room, and then I click you in as soon as I am done with that student in front of you, and then you and I would have a kind of private office hours on Zoom. Works really well because you can do your Zoom from your phone, you can do it from your house, you can do it from a lunch break, something like that. So most of my office hours are on Zoom, and I will always put an announcement and a link up on Canvas for you guys so you know when those times are going to happen. Once again, my office hours are typically twice a month for an hour or 2 at a time. So in this class, we're going to learn more about how children grow, and also how they develop. It is a fast track class, so we're going to be doing all of the infants, all of the middle childhood, all of the adolescents, all of the preschool in 8 weeks. So it does go quite fast, but it is a nice big immersive jump into children and how they develop and grow. I've had good reports that students like how fast paced it is and how each week you're learning something new. So I'm hoping that you will find as well that you kind of like the deep dive into child growth and development within 8 weeks. So class attendance, you are still kind of expected to attend the class, which means that you regularly log on to Canvas and you regularly do the work that you need to and submit on time. So I'm not expecting that you show up at like Monday at 9. We don't have any regular class hours, but each week you need to be on Canvas doing some work and keeping an eye on those dates, which still apply even in an asynchronous class. So my online assignments, for the most part, I don't accept late work, but I would like you to communicate with me if you are having challenges, issues, you're sick, you need support, something like that. I can work with you. I want to support you. I want to be understanding of you. So just communicate in however you feel comfortable about what's going on so that I can better support you with resources or maybe extensions on work as well. The issue, especially with fast track, is you can't leave all of the work until the last week. So each week we learn about a specific age group. So at first it'll be pregnancy, and then it'll be infants, and then it'll be preschool. So you can't leave all of it to the very end, because then that's 8 weeks of work in like 3 days. It doesn't kind of work like that. So for the most part, your online assignments need to be turned in when they are due, but I'm also more than happy to kind of support you and work with you and understand kind of the life situations that are going on for you if you're kind of communicating with me about kind of what's going on in your life to the extent that you feel comfortable. I do want to say that for a 3-credit course such as this, students should be committing a minimum of 9 hours per week for preparations, reading, and assignments. So there is quite a bit of work as well within these kind of weeks that we'll be. I do have a plagiarism kind of information for you guys as well. It's less of an issue with this class, more so with your English classes, but I do have writing that you will be doing. For example, I think next week or the week after, you'll be doing kind of a 1-paragraph summary of what postpartum depression is. And what you shouldn't do is Google postpartum depression, go to a website, copy and paste it, and then put that on Canvas. Canvas will immediately tell me, hey, this was plagiarized. And then I'm going to have a serious conversation with you about that. So you should never just copy and paste. You should never paraphrase without telling me where you got it. So you could say, oh, postpartum depression, according to, the American Academy for Pediatrics is ... If you give me proper documentation, that's fine. You can not use another student's work. So if your roommate was like, hey, I did that two semesters ago, here's mine, that will also pop up on Canvas as plagiarized, because they store everything that basically every student has ever written on our plagiarism checks. It can even go back to high school. If what you did high school was online, it will also find that somewhere on the World Wide Web. And then you can't kind of take ideas from somebody else as well. Most people just don't understand how it works. And it's great. We have writing tutoring, we have English tutoring, and we even have kind of free tutoring on Canvas on the left-hand kind of toolbar that I'll show you in a minute as well. So if you are concerned about your writing or cutting and pasting or what plagiarism is, please reach out to me or anybody in the tutoring departments, and we are more than happy to kind of help you get through kind of what all of that means and how to write efficiently. Classroom etiquette. So you will interact with some of the students in the class through our discussion boards. So online discussions, we won't meet in person, but you are expected to be courteous and respectful in your online discussion spaces. At the very minimum, I will remove disrespectful comments, and things that go against the Chafee Student Code of Conduct might be reported as well. I've honestly never had that happen. I've removed comments, but I've never had to send anybody higher in kind of the chain of command at the campus. I think most people don't mean to be disrespectful. It's really hard to understand humor online. If you're not face to face, if you're not smiling, if you don't have like the nonverbal communication, it can be really hard to be funny. I would urge most people to not be sarcastic, to not try to be funny, and just answer the discussion post to the best of your ability. If you do try to be funny, use those emojis, use memes or appropriate memes, something like that to convey to everybody that you are attempting humor. It is very, very hard to be funny online, especially in an academic space like this where we're talking about very serious things. So just expect to have a very respectful, very appropriate kind of response. But I do use the Chafee Code of Conduct, which is in your student handbook that you should have. And that is what I use as far as our online spaces. We'll have more information on what I expect from Code of Conduct in this week's discussion board where you introduce yourself. Social media, don't consent. I don't consent. I do not want my class to be filmed. Any of the assignments, any of the discussions, any part of the Canvas course should not be filmed unless it's been arranged by disability services. Sometimes disability services will film or transcribe certain videos. That's okay. It's going through the college, but you're not to post classroom photos or film anything for your own use without disability services, and I do not consent to any part of this class being put on social media at any platform at all. Email. So the best thing to do is to check your emails pretty regularly here at Chafee. The great thing about Chafee is we have tons of resources. So they'll give away free things all the time. We have free food, we have free pantries. They've given away free technology before, but you don't really know about that unless you check your email pretty regularly. I know you're like, oh, another email. You can forward your Chafee student email to your work email or to your personal email. So all of those messages can be forwarded to the email that you do check regularly, because that's how I'll communicate with you. So if something happened or I need to ask you a question or anything like that, it will go through Canvas to your emails. So make sure that you check those Chafee student emails as much as possible. I'd say once or twice a week would probably be best. Best practice would be to forward it to your personal or to your professional emails as well, just so you keep track of my class, your other classes, and then any kind of awesome resources that Chafee kind of wants to provide you as well. We have Canvas grades, which is also on the toolbar to the left, and it's great. It tells you the grades you got, and then it also kind of gives you some of the feedback that I've written for you. If you don't get a grade, that means that it either has not been graded, or if you haven't turned it in, I can't grade it. Obviously, if it's not submitted, I can't grade it, and that will be a 0. It might not reflect in Canvas, and so of the things that you've turned in, it might say you've turned in 5 out of 10 things, and out of those 5 that you've turned in, you've got a 90 in the class. But if you're still missing 5 assignments, that means 5 zeros at the end of the day. So you're not passing the class. So just keep an eye on your Canvas grades and make sure that everything is turned in, because if it's not turned in, I can't grade it and you won't get a grade, which means you get a 0, which will then add up if you're regularly not turning things in. So you'll kind of have to really take a look at your Canvas grades. And the best thing to do if you're concerned about your grade is to use the syllabus where I have the points, and see how many you've turned in, what grades you've gotten, and then to hit it against this actual syllabus. Disability support, I have the information for it. Please let me know within the first 2 weeks if you do have a verified accommodation so I can better support you in the class. This class is designed for all students to succeed. And if you do need help with test taking, if it really stresses you out or something like that, please reach out to disability services. I've met them before. They're really, really great, kind, supportive people. So if you're feeling some anxiety, maybe about an online class or taking tests or something like that, or if you just feel like you need extra support and accommodations, hit up disability services to see how they can kind of support you as well. And once again, my office hours, twice a month usually. I'll put the link up on Canvas, and then we'll meet on Zoom. If you would like a different time or you'd like me to call you, or even Canvas has kind of a text message function, we can use that if you kind of set up an appointment by emailing. So these are our online assignments. So each week you're going to do a few assignments that total 20 points. So you might do 1 to 4 assignments each week. So it might be 4, 5 point assignments, or it might be 2 10 points, might be 1 20, something like that, but it'll be 20 points for each week for 7 weeks. You'll do 2 online observations of children. So there's online videos that I will give you guys, and you guys will observe a child online and submit an observation of what those children were doing online as well. And that's 2 observations, 25 points each for a total of 50. And then you also have a final exam, which is worth 40 points as well. Very easy, multiple choice, true, false, with a big review the week before. So nobody's stressed about the final exam. We'll do a giant review in week 7, and then you'll have 3 days in week 8 to complete it as well. And it's only 20 questions. So that's 240 points. So while Canvas has a great function, it's also a really good idea to track your own points off of Canvas as well, to make sure that you've submitted all of those weekly assignments, which are most of your class, that you've submitted those observations, things like that. What have you actually gotten? So I kind of have a space right here. So if you wanted to keep track of your own points, that would let you know if you've had 240 points overall. This is our tentative course schedule. So the first week will just be an intro and introductions. Next week will be prenatal, then infants and toddlers, then early childhood, which is like preschool, middle childhood, adolescents, or teens. The seventh week will be a big review for the final exam. I will give you lots of questions, lots of support to help you for the final exam. And then you also will have some work on child abuse. So that is generally what we're going to be doing for the next 8 weeks together. And then lots and lots of pages of all the resources that you might need for health services, scholarships, student support, the bookshop, CalWorks, Career Center, counseling, disabilities, Dreamers, EOPS, honors, independent scholars, the pantry with free food, transfer center, and transitional services as well. So I have those on the syllabus, and I also have all of them online for you guys as well with their links, so you can go straight to their website at Chafee as well. So that is our syllabus. I wanted to just kind of get that out of the way so that you feel pretty secure about what's going to be happening for the rest of the semester. Once again, this page will always be here with this video if you ever wanted to watch it again, and then also with the syllabus and also with our free online text. A couple of times I've talked about the toolbar to the left. So if you follow my mouse, if you look over to the left-hand side, you can see kind of how the Canvas is structured. The great thing is that you can hit the Smart Thinking Online Tutoring, and this will take you to free kind of Chafee online tutoring. It's for Canvas, all Canvas users. It's not specifically for this class. So you can't be like, hey, how is Professor Van Blake's observation? Can you tell me about that? And they'll be like, I don't know who this observation is. But if you show them your observation that you've already done, and you're having a hard time with like plagiarism or cutting and pasting, what does that mean? Then that person could probably help you with resources to understand plagiarism and how not to do it. So it's broad catering and not specific to this class. If you need specific support with this class, what you should do is very much on this left hand is this inbox. You can see my mouse is circling it right now. Just hit the inbox and shoot me a message. This messaging on Canvas goes straight to my email. It's kind of a delay, maybe like 30, 45 minutes later, it'll hit my inbox, but I will see it within the day. And then I will get back to you once again within 24 business hours with the response to your specific question. So if you don't understand course content, you know, I keep talking about these theorists, what does that actually mean? Or I don't understand how to do the weekly assignment, or, you know, I really, I'm feeling kind of lost. That type of thing, shoot me an email or shoot me a message through Chafee, or write me an email, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I don't get to see your beautiful faces. That's the unfortunate thing about being online. And so I don't know if you're lost. So a lot of times if you were to meet in person and I was talking about a concept and I looked out and everybody was like, I don't get it, I would go back and I would say, okay, let's break down the stage theory again. I don't have that, so I'm depending on you to tell me when you're struggling with the concept. So please email me often and when you need me so that I can support you. So once again, the best way to do that is this inbox button right here. Just shoot me a message. So yeah, so once again, if you need online tutoring, right here is where to kind of do it. You can click on this link and it'll take you to kind of general understanding, general kind of tutoring, maybe if you needed help with like plagiarism or something like that. All right. So I'm going to go back to kind of our home page, which will always look the same. You won't wake up one day and it look totally different. So we've got the welcome start here, which I've talked about is the home of our syllabus, this video, and our textbook. The next module is college and class resources. So this is a module and it has student support services and resources. So exactly what was on the syllabus, I've put on Canvas for you, and it has links directly to like EOPS or the Transfer Center. So you can go straight from this page into the page that you need on Canvas. Just some information about what your computer needs. A lot of times you might be doing this on your cell phone, but a lot of times you might want to go off your cell phone and onto a desktop or a laptop like this in order to do like quizzes or writings as well. So it'll tell you a little bit about your computer. If you're new to online learning, that might be a good area to check out. And then the software for this course, I'm just going to tell you the software we're going to be using. Like one of them is YouTube. You don't have to buy YouTube, but I use YouTube for my videos. And so my video lectures that I'll be giving to you guys each week. And so you don't have to buy YouTube, obviously, but that's what I use. And so I've just got information about all the platforms that I use so that you can be better supported. Once again, if maybe you're newer to online. The third module is your observation. So here is the information about child observations. So this first kind of page under the module is why do we have child observations? And I also have a video about why we do it and kind of how you do it as well. So we observe children because we want to know what they can do, basically. And this is child growth and development. Normally, before coronavirus, I would send you out and you would go to a school to observe a child. A lot of schools still, because of coronavirus, are still fairly shut down and they're not taking volunteers and they're not taking people just off the street wanting to observe children. Like before, you would sign a waiver and you could go into our lab school or a daycare or elementary school and you could observe. Schools are very used to that. That's an important part of learning about children is observing them. So you sign some paperwork and you can do that. Doesn't really exist right now because we're still trying to minimize coronavirus risk. So you guys are going to observe 2 clips of children playing, and you're going to tell me about how and why they were playing. My biggest tip for observations is to watch my video on how to do the observation. So in this video, I'm going to explain the importance of observation, why I'm having you watch children, and then also how you're going to conduct it for this class. I think a bigger thing also is to think of yourself as a newscaster and not as like somebody who's doing more emotion. So you're just telling me exactly the facts, exactly what you see in as much detail as possible. Like what hand are they using? What words are they saying? Are they standing on their tiptoes? Like really, really, really detailed. And this video will go more into kind of how to look for detail and also how to complete this observation. So there are 2 observations. The first one is due on April 11th. So in about a month, I guess, yeah, in like 3 weeks, about a month. So it's a 6-minute video with 2 girls who are playing in the blocks. So they're making a block, a tower. You're going to watch this video and then you're going to fill out this form while you're watching this video. So you'll download this PDF and you'll fill it out either by hand or typing, whatever feels best for you. And then you'll submit it to me. Once again, giving me as much facts as possible. And you should really watch that observation video that I've already recorded before you start this assignment. Second observation is very similar. Once again, another girl is playing, this time with like blocks and kind of wooden kind of apparatuses as well. So once again, you're going to do the running record. You're going to download this PDF, and then you're going to observe her in this video, and then you're going to submit it as well. And this one is due May 2nd. So those due dates are already up for you guys. So you can keep an eye on it, put it in your planner or your phone. But you do have 2 larger assignments, 1 observation and then a second observation that are due for this class. Once again, normally I would send you out and you'd have to like observe a real life breathing child. Coronavirus has made that a little bit difficult. So to get around that, I have 2 clips for children that you're going to observe and you're going to submit an observation form that I've already created for you. This week's module is also open. So this week I have a lecture video where I just introduce child development. So I just introduce what we're going to be doing for the next 8 weeks. And then Lucky Ducks, your first week, all you've got to do for those 20 points is to introduce yourself. So all you got to do is post about yourself with a picture. Hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm taking this class because, it's a general ed requirement, or I want to be a teacher, just something. Tell us about yourself while you're taking this class, and also post a picture. You don't have to respond to anybody else. You just have to introduce yourself. If you would like to say hi to other people, that would be great. Each week will look generally the same. I've got most of my class already kind of built, or I'm still continuing to work on it. But like next week, there'll be 3 assignments. One is worth 10 points, and then 2 are worth 5 points. There's 2 video lectures, and then there's 3 assignments that you're going to do, and then there'll be 1 or 2 chapters that you might read as well. Infant and toddler is the same. I have 3 short video lectures, and then I have 4 assignments, and then ... So each week, I will open new information. It'll have new video lectures similar to this, where I kind of talk you through what we would normally do in class. And then I have between 1 and 4 assignments that you also complete to reinforce that knowledge. So for example, week 2, so next week on Monday, I will open up 2 video lectures and 3 assignments. So the pregnancy, postpartum depression, and nature versus nurture assignments support what you have in your video lecture and support the readings you'll do from that free online. So each week will generally look the same with video lectures and then assignments. I open everything at Monday at 9, and then it's due in 1 week. So you can see that for this week, it's the first day of class was March 21st, and you have until March 28th to kind of do this assignment. For the next one, I think my days are off. It should be, this pregnancy, I'll change that date. It should be in April. We do April 4th. So I would open this on week 2 will be open on March 28th, but all of this work will be due on April 4th. I just need to change the dates on that. But just so you know, every week I open something, I open that week on a Monday, and you have exactly another Monday in order to do all of the weekly assignments. That's where you kind of need to keep logging in, watching, reading, and then doing those assignments to support your learning. So you have exactly 1 week, 7 days in order to do it. Doesn't matter if it's at night or during the weekends. Once again, the not bot, the actual human who's teaching this class, works traditional business hours Monday through Friday. So if you have questions, ask them so that I can support you while you're doing kind of the work more asynchronously at home. So that is our class. That is the structure, and that's how it will be for the next 8 weeks. I just want to kind of reiterate one last thing, which is I'm not going to be able to meet you. I'm not going to be able to see your faces. I need you to email or message me whenever you need support in this class so I can help you. Also come to office hours. You can just come say hi, or you can ask me about course content. I can give you other resources to help you understand it, or I can just step-by-step go over it if you need help, or go over things like the observation or the weekly assignments. Also, if you want to just go on office hours, we can talk about jobs. I've done lots and lots of jobs within child development over the last kind of 25 years. So if you want us to talk about, getting credentials or permits or anything like that, I love to have students come on office hours. And you guys are more successful when you come to office hours actually as well. When you just ask questions and feel kind of connected, especially in online spaces, it really helps you as well. So please reach out to me if you ever need help and support. Otherwise, I will be available, and I'm definitely looking forward to having a great experience kind of teaching and learning with you guys. All right, I'll see you later.